Okay, we are live with
Woohoo!
90s Evening with Eve, Episode 2, Sega Genesis versus Super Nintendo. Eve, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing good. Ooh, and I actually got the alert on time for your show. There we go. Um, I'm doing good today. I am prepped and ready, and I have notes and all that
People
fun
already
stuff.
flying in. Notes came in. We already got 7 in.
And whenever we have enough in here, we'll tell you about the trivia challenge we're going to do tonight.
Ooh, let me turn down the TV. Oh, yeah, go. Eve, okay, for starters, Eve's going to start telling you about the trivia challenge she has tonight
Mhm.
that you could win money on. And I'm going to go get my stream deck so I can hook that up. So if you make a comment of the night, you can win money. So there's going to be tons of opportunities to win money on 90s Evening with Eve. Eve, take it away.
All right, guys. So we're going to have a trivia challenge tonight about Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo. And I have one bonus question that has nothing to do with either or, but it'll be a fun question to try and answer. I know a lot of the questions are going to be how quick can you actually Google search it because they're not all that easy. Some are super easy. And yeah, the winner, I will keep track of who answers the questions correctly first, and I'll keep track of it. And Pesci and I talked about it. The winner will receive $5. I think was what we agreed on. And it is 15 questions. So we have a lot of questions to go
Eve, we're
through.
probably going to have to make this announcement twice because there's 10 in here and it'll probably be up to like 20, 25. So we'll have you announce that twice.
Oh,
I'm
that's
going to
fine.
hook this up real quick. We're
That's
waiting
fine.
on salty bacon. We might start a little early. I might have some food delivered.
Yep.
But Eve, why don't you tell the people what made you decide? Because she picked this topic, not me. I was surprised to see a girl pick it. Tell us why you picked this topic.
Pesci, what women do you know that don't have intelligence, financial stability,
Well, they
or
didn't
that?
play Super Nintendo and shit, Sega.
um, when we started doing the 90s thing, I know last week it started off with Polly Shore because I was like, oh, let's do Polly Shore. It was like a random pick. And this time I was like, well, let's pick something that I think everyone will enjoy and what's quintessential again to the 90s. And it's like Pesci and I grew up in the 90s. So Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo, everyone had one or the other
Oh,
or
I
both.
remember my Sega Christmas. I'll get into that.
And it was like, oh, we have to talk about that because that was like the Sega and well in the Nintendo war, and we all know who won. But we all have memories of it playing with your
I
friends
got a
when you
question for
got the
you. How did
game.
you guys? Wait a minute. You said a war was.
Yeah, it was kind of like a slight war who was going to win that battle of Super Nintendo because they released very close together.
Okay, 1 second, salty bacon. I wasn't pointing at you, Eves. I should have said salty is bacon. Oh, I was gonna introduce our next guest. We got the man, the myth, the legend, the guy that I thought was two guys at once or two different guys at once. The man that, like Kenny always says, tricked me and made me look stupid. Ladies and gentlemen, the guy that they thought was the mountain timer at one time, salty bacon.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
How you doing, salty? Great to see you.
Yeah, it's twice the man. I'm 2 times the man.
Oh yeah, Pook, and he also goes by Pook Ninja.
Yeah.
We got 13 live in the Bilger tonight.
You should
is,
combine the names and be Bacon Ninja.
Bacon Ninja. That's awesome. Yeah.
Steve, would you want to be the? What did you say? Do you want to do the trivia first? How do you? What do you
We'll
want
do
to
that
jump
later.
into
We'll do that
first?
later after we've talked about it. So I was a Super Nintendo girl.
Gotcha.
I had friends that had Sega, so that's when we were playing with them. But I had the Super Nintendo, and I know Salty talked about you had both, right?
Yep.
Or yeah,
I had both. I had the Genesis first because it came out first.
yeah. The Genesis came out. Well, I can't tell you because that's part of the trivia, but we'll talk about that later. The Genesis came out before that, and then Nintendo came out and blew them out of the water.
Oh, quick announcement. Very quick.
Okay.
I want to announce people that are currently up money right now still. And if you want to wait for it to get to a certain amount, you let me know and I'll send it. But right now, Scott Ash is at $2. Mountain Timer's at $3. Sheriff has $1. Punch a Hole has $1. And my buddy, Rome Finhameen, has $1. But go on, Eve. I just want to let people know. Oh, yeah. And if you hear this sound, it's comment of the night.
Every time I hear that, I think of Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
So do I, and that's why I have it there. And that's courtesy of my man Frank Kirsch. Shout out to Frank Kirsch. And take it away.
All right, so the idea is I wanted to interact with the chat and everyone here is what were your, what was your system of choice? Why the games of your choice? Again, like I was stating, I was a Super Nintendo girl. I did play Sega when I had friends who had it. And I kind of get into just like I'm a Mario fan. I love Mario's World. I'm a like Yoshi. If my next tattoo will probably be of Yoshi. So
interesting.
Yeah, I absolutely loved Yoshi's Mario World because I ride around on Yoshi. And also when it came out, my family didn't have a lot of money. We grew up on a farm. Yeah. We didn't have that kind of normal income like most families did in the 90s. But my parents were able to scrape together and bought my brother and I a Super Nintendo. And our rooms were upstairs and we had a hallway with a bathroom that connected. So we put the TV in the system in the hallway. So it was officially shared. Like no one's bedroom could have it. So we'd sit in the hallway outside the bathroom and play it on this little black and white TV.
If you're just joining us, we're going to be doing a trivia in a little bit where you can win some money. We got some late people piling in. Salty, out of curiosity, what was your out of the two? I'll go last.
Sega Genesis, man. I love the Genesis. I love Sega. I'm a Sega mark, man. I used to play all them Sega games at the arcade. We had a Sega timeout where the whole arcade was all Sega stuff.
Nice.
And we already had the Sega Master System along with the NES back in the day. So Genesis was like the next step up, and it had like Altered Beast, Golden Axe, it had all the arcade games. And then Shinobi, I love the ninja game, Shinobi, and the Sega come out with Revenge of Shinobi. And that game's awesome. That game is still one of my top 10 favorite games of all time.
To say yes, this comment right here, SNES was the WWF and Sega was WCW. Well, Sega did have more bits, though. They were the 16. Was it 16-bit?
They were 16. Actually, the Super Nintendo was more powerful, but
oh, okay.
It had better processing unit and stuff in it. But I just love the Sega games. I mean, and then it just depends what you like to play, really. I mean, in my neighborhood, it was all about the Genesis. And that's just how it was back then.
I think if you were like an arcade person, like my brother was in that generation a little bit of being an arcade person, but still felt like the Nintendo more. Anyone who grew up with going to the arcade, having your quarters, getting your tickets, all that, love the Sega more than they love the Super Nintendo because you brought the arcade home. Plus, and that was one of the coolest things about Sega was that was what their hitch was that they brought the arcade home.
Plus, Sega did sports games so much better than the Super Nintendo, like the Madden football, and like Lakers versus Celtics in the NBA playoffs. Like those games on Super Nintendo weren't as good. On the Genesis, they just played so much smoother. Like everybody that was in the sports arcade games, they knew the Genesis was the top console back then. And then, like RPGs, I gotta give it to Super Nintendo for that. But Genesis had some good RPGs too, like Phantasy Star 2, 3, and 4, and Shining Force.
Nintendo had the Final Fantasy, and Final Fantasy was.
Super Nintendo had a Final Fantasy 2 and 3. A Chrono Trigger is probably the best Super Nintendo RPG in my opinion.
Jaguar was a gimmick. Remember Jaguar?
Yeah, the Atari Jaguar.
I watched shows on Jaguar. I didn't own one. I watch a lot of old vintage.
I had one. Nerd. I had one back in the day. It was. I mean, other than Aliens vs Predator, and a few other games, it really wasn't worth it.
Definitely have better sports games.
Yep, you can't beat those Maddens back then on the Genesis and the NBA, like NBA Live 95 and stuff. It was good on the Super, but it was great on the Genesis.
TurboGrafx 16, I only know about Bob from YouTube watching. I'll watch old people review consoles. I never even knew the TurboGrafx 16 existed.
I had a TurboGrafx 16. The only store in my city that carried it was Montgomery Ward's. And we had like Bonk's Adventure and Splatterhouse and all those, Ninja Spirit. All that good stuff. I never had the CD unit and actually TurboGrafx had the CD unit before the Genesis did.
I didn't learn about that till way later. I
Now-
was like,
we-
what's this?
we used to we read this magazine. It was called Electronic Gaming Monthly, and it showed like all the stuff that was out in Japan and stuff that'd be out like 6 months to a year before it came out in the States.
I like this one.
So-
Eve, I gotta know if yours was Super Nintendo. Let's at least hear your top 5 for Super Nintendo when you were growing up.
Oh, Pesci, I don't have a memory like that. I
You have at
even
least
thought about that
3?
earlier.
Can you at least give 3 that you love playing? You don't have to put them in an order. I could do 5. I'm gonna do 5 for both systems and then tell you what system I.
Well, it's Mario World, duh.
Of course, you could still play that today.
They were Donkey Kong, right? Donkey Kong was them.
Yeah, Donkey Kong Country.
Donkey Kong, yeah. Donkey Kong was one of
Series.
them. There was a Ninja Turtles game, and I don't remember what it's called, but there was a Ninja Turtles game I loved to
Turtles,
play.
Turtles in Time. That game's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Legendary. It's legendary. 15.
So
in
I
the-
would say those are the 3 I remember the most playing. Because I loved the Ninja Turtles growing up. I was like a Ninja Turtle fanatic. I had like all the turtles,
We'll
and I
go
had
next. So,
that's the top 3 I remember playing the most. But you gotta think how young I was. I was like, when it came out, I was 9, 10. So the kiddie games is what I played.
I played Doom for the first time on a PC. Believe it or not, at my grandpa's. It was like came with the computer. It was weird.
Oh, that's when I first played Doom.
Yeah, Doom.
Is it Wolfenstein or Doom that you can collect coins? There was one where you
I
one
played
of
it
the
on a
Wolfensteins.
computer when I go to my grandparents.
Coins was Wolfenstein,
Really?
Yeah,
Wolfenstein 3D.
Yeah, that's what I had. Wolfenstein 3D. On
Yeah, I like
and
Wolfenstein
Doom.
as well too. That's a great game.
Now, what about you, Salty? You want to name up? If you guys hear my dogs bark, like I said, I got a food order late coming in, so I might grab food. So.
Top 5 for which console?
Let's just go top 5. Just say your top 5 for either or. You could.
Oh,
you
man.
Could top 5 games.
All right, Fantasy Star 4, Sega Genesis,
Okay.
Chrono Trigger, Super Nintendo.
Oh, yeah, excellent game.
Oh
You
man,
know,
it's
that
hard. To,
game's worth money to this day. That game, Eve, I believe if you look it up, some of them go for like serious money, and it's a Super Nintendo game.
oh yeah,
I
it's
know
over. It's,
Earthbound goes for a lot, and the
it's
game
over
looks
$100 for
yeah,
sure. I know that.
Super Nintendo.
Shining in the Darkness. If you don't know about it, it's kind of an obscure game for the Sega Genesis, a dungeon crawler I really liked.
Never played SimCity. I had like an inkling to try it because I saw some. You ever do SimCity? Either of you?
Only on Super Nintendo because you could have Godzilla come and destroy your cities.
Mario All Stars.
Night Karma. Seriously.
Yeah, Golden Axe on Sega
That
Genesis,
covers all
Hazelwood. Yeah, that's great. Golden Axe 1 and 2, and then the third one didn't come out here in America on cartridge, but they released it later in collections.
I'm gonna do mine in 1 second here. I'm trying to think of one more game and then.
Man, it's hard to make 5. I'm gonna say Fanstar 4, Chrono Trigger,
Man of 97.
Sonic 2. I really enjoyed Sonic 2. Shining in the Darkness for Genesis, and
Super Castlevania for Super Nintendo. I'm glad you reminded me. That's one of mine.
Super Castlevania was good.
Super Castlevania kicks
Link to
fucking
the Past, Zelda Link to the Past. I gotta give
That's
that
not-
game.
that's not-
Gotta
that
give
is
that
not-
game some love too. That game was
All right, I'll
great.
tell you mine. All right, here we go. For me, Christmas, the year those things got hot, I got Sega. I don't remember even thinking about Super Nintendo until it's like my earliest memory. I was more exposed to Sega, I think, than I realized it was like Sega. And then I go, oh, there's a Super Nintendo. I never had both at the same time until later years. So in the beginning, it was Sega. I played Super Nintendo at people's houses. So, but my first Sega's game that we liked was we liked the Sonic where you could play against somebody. You were Tails. One guy could be Tails.
2.
One could be two, and you could
2.
race through. I got a lot of play out of that. I would say Sonic 1 wasn't my favorite, but it was like a highly played game by me because I always wanted to beat it. Oh, wait, Jake, give me a break. You know I'm live. Put the comment in the chat. I couldn't even possibly know what he's trying to call. But anyway, so Sega with me, Golden Axe, because we actually had that thing where you could make 4 players. And what was so great about 64 when it came out, I don't know if that's a 90s thing. Maybe we'll go on to that one eventually. But playing 4-player was always good when you did a lot of sleepovers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, because I used to have a lot of friends over, we play football in the front yard, come in, Sega, races on. So it'd be Sonic, Madden. We'll just do one Madden because I got every year. Madden was always a must on the Sega. I had a lot of fun playing the early ones where the ambulances would hit the players. You remember that one, Salty? Where the ambulance would come out on the field?
Yeah, it was like 92 or 93. The ambulance would come in like somebody got injured or something. They just run the team over.
I know what Bob's talking about. Streets of Rage 2 I beat.
Oh, yeah, Streets of Rage, man.
Put that top 5. That's a good one, Bob. Beavis and Butthead sucked, especially the endings where you were rewarded beating the game, LOL.
Beavis and Butthead just played funny. Like, it played odd. It was hard to play the game.
Aladdin, I remember playing, not a top 5. NBA Jam,
NBA
I'll put
Jam,
that on
yeah.
there. NBA Jam and NBA Live are very close because I played a lot of NBA Live and I played a lot. Sports games were so big on Sega.
I have a Sega game I played all the time that nobody ever heard of till I bring it up. Willow. It was based on the movie Willow, and there was a game called Willow. And it was actually really good, but nobody ever remembers it or knows about it.
I remember it on the NES. I didn't remember it on the
I remember
Genesis.
Willow the movie.
Mm-hmm.
With
They had Capcom made Willow on the NES.
Who was the line from Willow that I always loved that he always say? I'm trying to think of that guy's name. Man Mornian or some shit. And Willow always was like screaming his name. He's like, Man Mornian.
The only time I ever played it was when I went to my mom's friend's house. Her son had the Genesis, and he had the game on his.
This could have been good Hawaiian Punch. The problem with Mutant League football was the passing was fucked up. It wasn't good passing. So
remember, you could bribe the ref.
Who had the Garbage Pail Kids game?
I did not. I had the card.
Who was it? I'm asking Salty Baking. Was it Sega or was it? Is it NES or?
I don't remember any Garbage Pail Kids.
Sarah said our sleepovers.
There was, I swear.
And ate rats.
I'm trying. I don't remember any Garbage Pail Kids.
It was like similar. I don't think it was Garbage Pail Kids. It was very similar to Garbage Pail Kids, like a take on it.
Oh,
Mount Timer on Master System.
I just remember someone we went.
Moonwalker.
We went to school with. They brought their game system over, and they had a game that was a lot like Garbage Pail Kids. I remember who.
Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
Oh yeah, that was a classic too.
So with me, it's just going to be the sports games for Sega. Trying to think of a good solo game other than Sonic, but like you said, Super Nintendo was the. Oh, and of course, I got to put Zelda. Love Zelda. Loved all the Zeldas. I am a guy that plays heavy campaigns, so I play a lot of games. Not as much as I used to. I want to get back into it now because Steam has a lot of cool shit where you can play the game and it tells you different game achievements that if you had a console, it might not. And it's just done so much cleaner. And what else? What other game? Oh, God. Right there. Thank you, Punch a Hole.
The hockey
That game was fucking sweet. I remember playing that through 97. NHL 94 is still being sold on the Xbox Game Pass. Meaning they remade this fucking game, either this one or 97. It was so good, so easy to play that even probably Eve would like. I was just joking, Eve. But zombies, I think this might be me. Pablo, is that me? Pito. Let me go.
I'm trying to find the game because it's driving me nuts. What was it called?
Yeah, because I have no idea what that is. I'm curious what it is you're talking about.
The game I said? What game?
No, the one that Eve was talking about that was like Garbage Pail Kids.
Yeah, I don't remember that one.
I don't remember it either. That's why I was curious what game it is.
Name a couple games you enjoyed beating all the way through that weren't sports.
Oh, you don't like me?
Yeah.
Basically, Bob mentioned the Streets of Rage. I mean, I beat all three of those. I mean,
yeah.
And the RP.
I went to Zelda. I went to all the Zeldas.
Yeah. Man, I beat all like the Fantasy Star 2, 3, or 4.
We'll have to try to play that on stream one night. NHL 94. I'll buy it or something. It's fucking they sell it on the Game Pass. I don't know if they still do the actual. You familiar with Game Pass, Salty?
Yeah. I had that a while back, but I don't have it no more.
I keep them on. I'm like a game freak. But I like watch. I still watch, like, there's a channel on YouTube. It's 24 hours Sega's arcades. It's arcades, but they'll have a lot of the Sega ones on there. And Mike Tyson Punch Out, but that was more NES. We're on Super Nintendo, Sega. They did have Super Punch Out. It didn't have his same flavor, especially when.
Oh yeah, Super Punch. It was called Super Punch Out. Yeah, on the Super. That wasn't bad. That was all right.
What was the first game you got with the system when you were younger, Eve? Do you remember that?
On the Genesis. The Genesis, it came with Altered Beast when I got mine, and then later they put Sonic in it, but I got it before Sonic ever came out. They used to have the arcade game Altered Beast come with the Genesis.
What about you, Eve? Which ones did you get? Besides
For which one?
Super Nintendo. Didn't you say you were a Super Nintendo girl?
Oh, which ones did I get?
Yeah, your first games you got.
I think those are the three I mentioned, and then we had my brother's games. Pesci, I don't have much memory of that time.
I had Altered Beast when I got my Genesis. Altered Beast came with the Genesis, and then later I bought Thunder Force 2. It's a spaceship shooter game, and then Ghouls and Ghosts, which is a sequel to Ghosts and Goblins. It was a Capcom arcade game that was really good on the Genesis.
Okay, I'm an idiot. It's not Garbage Pail Kids. It was, for some reason, my mind, because of the cartoon and the style, it was Earthworm Gym, what I'm thinking
Earthworm Gym, yeah, I love Earthworm Gym.
Because the cartoon and the grossness similarities, and for some reason my brain went to Garbage Pail Kids, but yeah, it was Earthworm Gym.
Earthworm Gym and Earthworm Gym 2 that came out on Genesis and Super Nintendo. That was a good game.
I just remember I had a friend who brought it over, because when we did sleepovers, we always had like our friends bring their game systems, because again, you couldn't have more than 2 players, so you'd have like system TVs and systems set up in each bedroom. Because my room, my brother's bedroom, and one in the hallway, and we always switch off and trade. People would play each other.
Yeah. And me and my brother, we had all those consoles back then. You remember those big old TVs, the big wood TVs that would sit on the floor, the big console TVs?
Yes.
We had one of those, and then we had a little 13-inch black and white on top of that, and we had all the systems hooked up, and we'd, like, if he wanted to play Nintendo while I was playing Genesis or something like that, we'd hook one to the black and white, one to the color. We had my mom's and dad's basement all set up with games. Everybody come over and play games and stuff, and we had, like I said, at that time, we had the NES, the Master System, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, TurboGrafx 16, and then I had my old ColecoVision with the Atari 2600 adapter. You could play Atari games and ColecoVision games.
Jeez.
And a Texas Instrument computer that hooked up to the TV too. But those games, other than Jawbreaker and a few others, those games kind of suck. But yeah, I was probably about 14 when all that stuff came. 14, 15 when all that stuff came out.
Yeah, you were my brother's age.
Yeah.
My brother and I each had a 13-inch black and white TV, so we would set up one system in my room, one system in his room, and then the hallway TV. So it'd be like Super Nintendo. You'd have 1 or 2 Super Nintendos or 1 or 2 Genesis hooked up with the other game system. We'd switch off. And that's the only really way I played Genesis, because the Super Nintendo was already so much for my parents to buy us. And the little handful of games we got. Now, I do have a story. My brother bought a Genesis off this guy who was like a year older than him to have a second system. The guy gave him like a really good deal on all these games. Well, the system didn't work. He gypped them. And it was the first time my brother took me over to help him beat somebody up. He's like, I'm going to show you how things are done when people screw our family over.
There you go.
My brother was a little badass, and that beat him up, and he took the game system and hit the guy with it, and then took a sledgehammer to it in front of the guy and was like, now you can't sell it to anyone else. Got his money back. I mean, went off on this. And my brother was like 13. The guy was 14.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
My Genesis I got actually for Christmas. You said, I don't want to say the year because you said that's part of the trivia question when it first came out, but I got I got that for Christmas. Super Nintendo. I actually had a part-time job at Kentucky Fried Chicken, and I worked there long enough because you got paid every 2 weeks. I worked there long enough to get a Super Nintendo that came with Super Mario World, along with Paperboy 2 and Super WrestleMania.
Paperboy, yes.
Yeah,
Oh my God,
Paperboy is cool.
Paperboy. That was yes.
that was
I had that game
Nintendo
also
80s.
because the Turtles pizza delivery game was like Paperboy. Remember the Turtles? I had that like it was on Nintendo. It wasn't Super Nintendo. Ninja Turtles had like that pizza delivery game where they delivered pizzas. Anyone else remember this?
Oh, remember delivering pizza? Turtle games usually be fighting. You'd pick up pizzas for health. And it'd say like pizza time, you know.
Yeah, but they had like little mini games in the game for like for whatever extra, and you would deliver pizzas.
Okay, I don't remember that, but I'm sure it probably did. I mean, you know, I don't remember.
Bob's right, Kick a Million. Now, Joe Montana football, Bob, I didn't like the way it played. I had it.
Yeah.
I love the way it talked.
Sports Talk Football. It's Joe Montana 2. Sports Talk Football. Yeah, that was good.
Loved it, but it could have been a lot better.
Yeah, it'd be like
you guys like all the sports games.
The first Joe Montana was good too. It was kind of vanilla. It was kind of generic, but it was good.
So I wasn't allowed to play any like sports games because they were all owned by my brother, and I wasn't allowed to touch them because I'm the younger sister. So I just remember watching them and getting bored because I couldn't play them. So to me, my memories of them suck.
I remember I had that feeling, and one time I started playing the games.
I wasn't allowed to. You gotta think my brother is much stronger and older than me. And at the time I was like 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I wasn't gonna get beat up by him playing his game.
I know. I knew brothers that were like that.
Yeah, my brother was 6 years younger than me. I was the older brother, but I mean, I just let everybody play. I didn't care. We just have fun playing games, you know.
Because you don't have a younger sister. There is a massive difference between having a younger sister and
I have a younger sister as well. She's
okay.
She's
then you're
8
much
years
nicer
younger
than my brother.
She's 8 years younger than me, but she wasn't really in. She's into games now, surprisingly, but she wasn't really into the video games back then.
I thought your wife was joining you, no?
She was going to, but she's just tired.
And Eve, whenever you want to start your trivia, we're 30 minutes in. It's up to you.
All right, we can start it. All right, so we'll go over the rules again.
Nintendo?
I need a pencil.
Is there something else you wanted to add about Nintendo, Eve, or Sega, Salty?
Oh, nothing I can really think of offhand. But.
I like your anything you want to talk on off of the questions, you definitely can, Salty. Because I did some homework. There's stuff I figured out. Was like, oh, I didn't know that. I'm totally making that a trivia question. So the rules of trivia.
This or no?
Yeah, I was going to ask, am I allowed to answer too, or is it just for the? Is it just for the?
Sit out and let Salty play with the chat.
It has to be in chat. Their answers cannot be called out. They have to be in chat because no one knows them but me. So, and I need to keep track of who answers what first. So the rules are: there's 15 questions. 14 of them have to do with Sega and Super Nintendo. I should say Genesis and Super Nintendo. There's more than one Sega. One of them is an offshoot question I just came across. I was like, I'll ask this, see if anyone finds out. I know a lot of people are going to be using Google, and they're probably getting their Wikipedia pages ready. But Pesci said that if the winner of this will win $5 is what you want to do.
And why don't, for you cheaters out there, why don't you just try to play for real? Get hurt.
Okay.
Wow. Here we go. I agree. Like that. Super Castlevania is definitely on my top 5.
Yeah.
Great. Secret of Mana was great. Mount Timer, these are all great.
Yeah, those are great games.
Super Metroid.
F-Zero, man. I love F-Zero racing games. F-Zero's.
I don't know if this guy just Googled all the best games, but these were the good ones, man.
All right. So I'm going to try and arrange this so I can keep an eye on chat and ask the questions. So bear with me, guys.
Oh, wait. Sorry, Hawaiian.
Fuck that sports talk football. I hated that shit. You always heard man in motion on every fucking man in motion.
The problem with sports talk football, it didn't operate well.
In sports talk football, like they'd say, I mean, like when you say the score, be like, the score is Minnesota 32, Buffalo 18.
Games I remember playing.
Outrun. Hazelwood mentioned Outrun. Man, I love Outrun. The arcade, the Genesis Master System version. Yes, Outrun. Great racing game.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree.
So y'all ready?
We said Sonic. Okay,
Y'all
everybody,
ready?
let me announce.
I'm ready.
We're doing a trivia. It's for the chat. Winner gets $5 via me.
All right.
I announced the money that people are already up still. Go ahead.
Some of the first questions are pretty easy just to start off with, and then we'll get more into like the detail-y ones.
Go over the rules.
So,
Go over the
first
rules.
question, guys.
Wait, Eve, go over the rules. How do we determine?
I have an eye on the chat, and whoever answers first in chat correctly, I'm going to write your name next to it so I can keep track of who gets the question, and then at the end, I'll add up who got the most questions. Is that
Great
cool?
idea, Eve.
Should I answer or should I just be quiet?
No,
You can answer in chat.
Yeah.
You just can't verbally. So get your chat ready. I'll give you a second.
Back. I'll stay out of it. You can
Because
answer
it won't be
chat,
fair
Salty.
if people have to type it out. So.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, we did heavy screaming it.
I can't. Yeah, I got the private chat comments.
Sure, Pablo.
The only thing it's letting me chat. The only thing it's letting me chat in is private chat because I don't have the YouTube opened up.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm not gonna worry about it. Just let the chat do it.
Okay.
If I see a correct answer, I'll just mention that I seen a correct answer.
All right, guys. The first question.
Question number 1.
When was the Super Nintendo released for North America? I'll take month. I'll take the whole date, month, and year. But you have to give me a month or year, or the whole date.
Motherfuckers might have to Google that shit.
No, Jason, Twisted Metal wasn't on Genesis. That started on the PlayStation.
Correct, because that was one of my favorite games too.
Everyone's Googling. Everyone stopped for a second.
Well, they got to because, dude, I don't know how they would know that. Might as well say who's the quickest.
I don't even know the full answer. I know it's got to be. I think Kickflip might be right.
Yeah, I'll give just the year. Kickflip, you won that one. It was August 23rd, 1991. So Kickflip
very
got
close,
that one.
Mountain Timer. Very close. I appreciate you playing.
Hazelwood said July 4th, 1776.
All right, guys.
Bob, we appreciate you being in here tonight.
When was the Genesis released for North America? And I'll just take the year.
And I'll make sure there's Sega and then there's Sega Genesis, correct, Eve?
Yeah, I did say Genesis, right? I did say Genesis. Sega Genesis.
Well, I mean, if you want to count what's already on the screen, C. Gonzalez has it.
It was before. I checked before I asked. Kickflip.
Kickflip.
Yeah, Kickflip got it again. Okay. What was the best-selling Super Nintendo game?
Ooh, that's a good question.
From what, all time? Like up to now? Then?
Yeah, all time. What was the best-selling Super Nintendo game?
I'm surprised they have that.
I don't know that one offhand.
Hawaiian Punch-A-Ho got it. It was Mario World.
Who?
Mario World. 20.61 million copies of Mario World have been sold.
To me, that shouldn't count because the system for a long time came with Mario World. It was a free pack-in.
Are you arguing my trivia questions? You're not even playing the game.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
All right. What was restart, guys. What was the best-selling?
By the way,
what was the best-selling Genesis game?
I got an idea. I'm not gonna say it, but Eve, before you announce it. Oh wait, you had to go by there. Go look at the chat. I'll let you decide. Never mind. Hold on. I'll see if I was right. I would have said what Mountain Timer and them were saying.
Yeah, Mountain Timer, the first Sonic. So Mountain Timer got that correct.
Okay.
Again, that was a pack-in as well, but never mind.
I said the first questions are easy. I'll get the more detailed and persnickety ones later.
No, there could be some easy ones, Salty.
Yeah, I'm just fucking around.
Like what month Mario jacked off? We're not gonna
Mario assaulted a Goomba.
know, I mean, that was a really good question, I thought. That Sega one.
When did Mario give Princess Toadstool her first pearl necklace? Kidding. All right, fifth question, guys. What was the first movie based on a video game?
Damn good question. Like it.
Mhm.
Love it. Show's moving along great, too. 35 minutes.
Punch-A-Hole, I believe, has that.
Punch-A-Hole does
I
have
can't
that.
punch up the comments, guys. I'm sorry. I got rib fingers, but I'll be ready soon. I did prison style eating, so I almost ate this whole thing already.
All right. Punch-A-Hole got it.
Gone with the Wind. Yes, that's a great movie based on a video game.
Okay, guys, this is going to use some brains and probably some Google searching. This is a hard one. There are 3 video games that tied for third place.
What was the answer?
With Super Mario Brothers.
Really?
Yeah. Ready for the next question?
Hell yeah.
All right. There are 3 video games that tied for third place for best-selling video games for consoles. For Genesis, sorry, for Genesis. 2 were Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles. What was the third game? And I'm going to repeat that because I screwed that question up. I'm sorry, y'all.
Sure.
There are 3 video games that tied for third place for best-selling video game for the Genesis. 2 were Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles. What was the third game in the third place ranking? Because there were 3 tied. And you guys are going to be shocked when you hear this because I was like, really?
Yeah, I'm curious on that one.
I was curious on the last one. Hold on, Daisy, you slut. Oh, sorry.
Did you call your dog a slut?
Yeah, it's an old joke.
No one's got it so far. Keep guessing, y'all. And this is the Genesis we're talking about.
Is Bob being serious with Disney's? Yeah, that might have been.
Bob is correct.
Bob's right. Good job, Bob.
All right.
So,
Steve, do you want to go over the scores as of right now, or?
yeah, hang on 1 second.
This is
EH.
fun. You got to make one of these every week.
So I was shocked by it. So tied for third place, 3 games. It was Sonic 3, Sonic and Knuckles, and Aladdin. Each game sold 4 million copies.
Aladdin is a lot better on Genesis and Super Nintendo. That's another one that played better on the Genesis, in my opinion.
Was
Yeah,
there
it
an
did.
answer yet
It
or
did.
no?
Yeah.
Yeah, Aladdin. Bob, I'm sorry. So Kickflip Demon has 2. Punch-A-Hole has 2. Mountain Timer 1. Bob 1. So right now, Kickflip and Punch-A-Hole are tied. Eating my hair. There we go.
Go ahead.
Okay. 7th question. Nintendo had the first arcade to console game conversion. What was the game?
Can you say that again? I wanted to hear it.
Nintendo had the first arcade to console game conversion. What was the game? What was the first arcade to console conversion game Nintendo had?
Excellent question. Loving it.
It was a popular game too.
I got an idea. I'm surprised you didn't guess this, Salty.
You're talking in the 16-bit systems, right? Not later on.
Yeah, Super Nintendo. Sorry, I should say Super Nintendo.
Okay, I have an idea what it is, but nobody's said it yet.
Yeah, they haven't. I can't. Jason Robbins like, well, no one's getting it, Jason. It was the Super Nintendo had the first arcade to console game conversion. What was the game?
If it is what I think it is, can I give them a little clue?
No, just why don't you guess it? You're allowed to play.
All right, I think it's Killer Instinct. But
Nope.
No, okay.
Give him like one more
Alan
minute.
Reed put Centipede.
I'll take a guess if they don't guess.
Bob Hazelwood is correct.
Is it
Street
Turtles?
Fighter 2.
Yep. Capcom Street Fighter 2 in 1992.
Yeah, that did come out before Killer Instinct.
I didn't know you said Bob was right. I was going to say Street Fighter 1.
Nope. 1 was actually the arcade game. The 2 was what they put on the console.
All right, let me give Daisy the rest of it.
All right. I'm going to extend that question because we actually answered that on accident. All right. Super Nintendo outsold the Sega Genesis by how much? If you guys can guess number, I will say that it's in the millions.
Eve, you should have did an A, B, and C on that.
I will next time. See? Learning.
No, I know.
Mountain Timer, you are correct. 2 million.
They guessed it? Okay.
Wise dog says $2. $2.
Good job, Mountain Timer. All right. Question 10. All right. So Super Nintendo was first released in Japan, which a lot of us already know, but I just want to put that out there.
Okay.
So when Super Nintendo first hit stores in Japan, there were only how many games with it? Yeah, I think this is when it was very first released.
Okay.
How many games are with it? Like, were out so you could buy?
I think Hazelwood has it.
Yes, Hazelwood is correct. 3 games. All right, now here is the.
You want to tell us the 3?
Well, that's the next question.
Oh, okay, cool.
What were the games?
I know 2 of them. Pretty sure 2 of them. I'm not sure the third one though.
Two Cokes in, that should be all right.
Mountain Timer Bob beat you. I did see that, but Bob was ahead of you. Don't get mad. No. No, Bob.
There was a game called Pong Revenge. Eve, do you remember the game where the bar would be on the bottom of the screen and it would hit the ball up and it would hit the, not Pong, but the one that would hit like colors and it would drop points?
Breakout.
Yeah,
Super Breakout.
You got 2 out of 3,
Punch-A-Hole's-
Punch-A-Ho.
Yeah, Punch-A-Hole's got 2 out of 3. Mario and Pilot Wings.
I know the other one. I just remembered it. Somebody said it earlier, and I think it was Hawaiian who said it earlier. If it's that, I might be wrong.
I want to say the Japanese third game was a weird game. May not even came out here, but I could be wrong. Like a mahjong game.
I have only YouTube chat, so if you guys can keep an eye on Twitch chat, because I know Bob's in there.
I got
not,
an eye.
Not SimCity Punch-A-Ho.
That's right. That's right. I didn't even think of that.
Yes, Hawaiian Punch-A-Ho. You are correct. You've only got the third one. Yes, F-Zero, Pilot Wings, and Super Mario World.
Oh, F-Zero. Okay.
Sorry, Eve. I'll make sure I highlight the Twitchies.
Okay, thank you.
Eve, how can you not see the... You don't see what I see?
Because I have it, because I'm trying to keep an eye on this and do this. I don't have the other chat open. I just need like a second set of eyes to help me out.
Yeah, I got you. I just didn't know. Hi, Mango.
Yeah, when I go back to this, I'll see it.
Good to see you, Mango.
All right.
Eve, Mango said hello.
Hi, Mango. I've been good. And it's the real Mango. All right, guys. Here's one that's just kind of a random trivia. Oh, yeah. Super Nintendo was made of a plastic that would turn your console what color? If we all had one and had it for years, we know what color it started to turn. What color?
I do know this one.
Cheap ass plastic.
I think this is
Kickflip. Yep.
Yep. How come I don't see that? There we go. Finally popped up. Yes, yellow. You are correct.
No, they came white,
Kickflip.
Bob.
So kickflip. 1, 2, 3.
Just like my teeth.
All right, kickflip, Hawaiian Punch-A-Ho, and Bob
Racist.
Hazelwood all have 3. So let me put that.
All right, so I'll just watch for Bob's answers and you watch for everyone else's.
All right, guys. We're down to the last few. All right, here's a Genesis question.
Fucking ribs always get stuck in my teeth.
The Genesis is remembered by a much different name outside of the U.S. What name was it sold under in other markets?
And such a cooler name, too.
I know. I saw that. I was like, why didn't they keep that name?
Right, I know.
Say that question again for me.
You are correct, kickflip. So the Genesis was actually called the Mega Drive in other markets, but when it came here, they changed it to Sega Genesis.
Really?
Yep.
Mhm.
Interesting.
All right. Here's another one I thought was interesting. Who offered online play and what was it called?
Oh, I remember that.
Was it Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis?
They had online?
Mhm.
Actually, later on,
during that time.
Later on, they both had online.
They tanked because no one had a lot of online, but they made it on. There was an online one. Yes, Hawaiian Punch-A-Ho, but I'll give it to you. You got it kind of right. It was called Sega Net. Sega had it.
Interesting.
All right, Hawaiian Punch-A-Ho and kickflip are tied 4-4. Here is
What year
our.
did they make that? I didn't know they had when Sega came out. We didn't have internet.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it tanked. It wasn't very popular, but it was called Sega Net, where you could actually play games, and they even had some where you had multiplayer games.
Interesting.
Yeah, there was a modem you could get from your cable company and attach it somehow to your cable wire in the Genesis. Actually, my wife, when we were dating, she had that. I never had it because I always just bought the games. I mean, you know.
All right, so here is the last question. And it's going to be the tiebreaker question between kickflip and Punch-A-Ho.
Bum, bum, bum.
There we
Dun,
go.
dun, dun. And this has just a generalized trivia question, so it could be
Kickflip, I have
any
your
answer,
favorite.
and it could be on any game system. So open your horizons, but you'll figure it out. All right, the tiebreaking question: what was the first video game based on a movie?
You already asked that.
No, I asked what was the first video movie based on a video game. What was the
You know what
first
you
video
should
game
do?
based on a
You know
movie?
rule you should make for next week? If you guess an answer and you're first and you're wrong, you don't get to guess again.
Oh,
No?
I know. I like that people can keep guessing. It
All right,
makes
let
it
me guess
interesting.
then. Fuck it. All right. Okay.
Night Karma, did you really put Gone with the Wind? Come on now.
Great game.
Oh,
RPG.
shit. Bob did it. Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yes, that is correct.
I was
Bob
gonna-
is correct.
I
But
was going to say that's got to be
I
at least one of the
needed
first.
the tiebreaker for Hawaiian
Oh!
Punch-A-Ho and Kickflip Demon.
Sweet kickflip. Do a new one. Can you find one more for us?
Uh,
Glorious Eve. Maybe a
you got
bonus?
one on top of your head, Bacon?
For a tie?
For a tiebreaker question between Kickflip Demon
I
and
got one
Hawaiian
if this one
Punch-A-Ho.
doesn't work out.
Oh, you know what? I'll just do this one. What was the second video game based on the movie? And what game system was it for? And it was an awful game. Hawaiian Punch-A-Ho and Kickflip Demon, this is for you. What was the second video game based on the movie? No, Kickflip. No, Night Karma.
Bob, you were already out of that.
Mountain Timer, you are not Hawaiian Punch-A-Ho or Kickflip Demon. I'm getting frustrated.
I let him finish his last question so we have a winner. Saul, do you want to put a question in? I got a good one.
What year was it released? I'll put it that way. How about that? For E.T. and Raiders of the Lost Ark, what year was it released? Nobody else answer unless your name is Kickflip Demon or Hawaiian Punch-O. So we can get this over. The Adventures of Evie. Yes, Hawaiian Punch-O, you are correct. Hawaiian Punch-O is the winner of the trivia challenge tonight.
And Hawaiian, all you got to do is send me your PayPal or Cash App. I'll write you down just so I don't forget. Donald Lord said give his to Jake. I'll take Donald Lord off my list. Punch-O, you're up to $6. You got $6 coming your way.
$6 holla.
From the dollar you're up the other night. You can either let it ride or just keep it going or send me your info.
Oh, Kickflip, you must not have been paying attention. The first game ever released that was based on a movie was Raiders of the Lost Ark in November of 1982 for Atari. The second one was E.T. in December of 82 for Atari. And the E.T. game for Atari was terrible.
Yeah, they had to throw it away in a landfill. Isn't that the truth on that, Salty?
Yeah, they buried them because they had too much stock of it, and crashed the video game market. It was one of the games that helped crash it.
For you, Eve, since we do 90s topics, should we cover 90s movies too in the future?
Oh yeah, like it's going to be like a whole array.
All right, what do we got for next week? Or you haven't decided?
I was gonna since we did a celebrity and then we did video games, thought we'd maybe go to like one-hit wonders for the 90s, or if you want to do particular movies, we can do that. If you want to do like a certain genre,
I'm just gonna follow your lead. Like if you do one-hit wonders, you're gonna have to let me know. I didn't listen to much music.
I was gonna save like the horror movies of the 90s for closer to Halloween, because I was thinking about like the Michael Myers.
I'm gonna keep you on the list until you determine.
Let
it ride, so I'll let it ride. You guys can let it ride till you make like $10-15. Keep it on there. You don't got to give it away. That's what I said. We're changing the patterns up this winter. I'm handing out dollars. I bought my fame. Now it's time to buy the fans. Oh yeah, guys, I worked all day today. Mountain Timer, you know what I'm going to be looking at, Bob? I'm going to be looking at all that probably tomorrow.
Huh?
Oh, I'll tell you after the thing. We got a little thing going on.
Okay.
Nothing bad, Eve. Nothing.
So I was thinking of one-hit wonders. Everyone can bring like things to the chat, like the songs they remember, what they stuff like that. Or we can get into movies if you want to do a movie. Because there's a lot of good movies that came out in the 90s. A lot of shitty movies that came out in the 90s too, but a lot of good ones.
Yeah. But here's the rule, though. We got to watch that movie for the week, so it's fresh in our mind. We can't just go off.
Oh, now you're going off on the Marvel thing. Now you're going to give me assignments.
No, it's not assignment.
Do your homework.
I did do my homework.
You can't just say,
for the movies, though. You did the video game homework. I got to do the movie homework.
You can't say, let's do a review on Goonies and not watch it, because you're just going to be going, the Chinese.
I totally would. I totally get it, Patchy. I totally would. I understand completely. Okay.
I got two movies to watch for Mr. Marvel. I'm not even ready to do that show yet, but I will be in the future. We're going to be doing next Mr. Marvel. We're doing Daredevil and Logan. We're doing a twofer.
I thought you were doing it on Tuesday.
I told Harry I might not be ready yet. I haven't watched it, and I got a couple things going on. I thought there would be more later in the week. If I might try to sneak it. I'll let him know on Monday. I know what's his name's busy.
Okay.
I didn't make any promises. If I win in football this weekend, Tuesday's going to be the day I go cash this in.
Wow.
Sorry?
Hawaiian Punch-O, a shitty movie from the 90s. Dunstan checks in. That was not a shitty movie. That was a good movie. But I was also a kid when it came out, so it was a cute movie. I didn't do
cartwheels like Eve said. It's just something that you could just have on. The monkey farted. I really wasn't into fart jokes.
The monkey farted.
Remember when you go?
Yes.
HB
All right, guys.
Retired, says Mountain Timer. Right. You know, Harry is right there. That's close to it. Oh, yeah. Not quite. Close.
So what's the chat? The chat, the ones that are into the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. What was their favorite altogether?
Mount Timer said his.
I know a few people did. But I don't know if you know.
Kick. I had a lot. I actually played Super Nintendo later on. Like I had it here and there, and then I like got a when I started getting my own money. I was like, I'll get a Super Nintendo, play some old games.
Yeah, and like
Super Metroid, you gotta have. I even played Super Metroid on my Wii U.
yeah, someone mentioned Super Castlevania 4. That was such a great game too.
Oh yeah, all of them. And most
And
of
then
them.
Genesis
I love
always
the music on Castlevania.
and then Genesis always had the response. Like they had Super Castlevania 4, and then later Genesis had Castlevania Bloodlines, which was damn good in its own right. And then like Super Nintendo had Turtles in Time, where Genesis came out with Turtles Hyperstone Heist.
Steve, I believe PlayStation 1 was invented in the 90s too. That would be a good one. I know people would love that in the future.
Yeah, we can do PlayStation 1.
We don't have to do back-to-back video games, but we could do.
Yeah, that's definitely that's on. I actually have a list of like topic ideas. I just have it in front of me, but I had one like Saturday Night Live from the 90s.
Yeah.
TGIF. I was also going to bring up.
Yes.
I was also going to bring up other celebrities. Like I think someone mentioned Don Candy, so I added him to the list. The one hit wonders thing was more like just something fun to do. People can bring stuff to the table. We can totally go on to something else.
I thought 80s would be more of a one hit wonder, but you're right. There was some in the 90s.
Oh my gosh, there were so many in the 90s.
You're
but
right.
why don't we do Saturday Night Live from the 90s next one? That's a lot to bring up. Does that sound cool? That's a TV show. We can kind of keep the topics kind of arranged and shuffled.
Yeah, because there's a lot of actors that were in the 90s SNLs that did movies and were good. And
a lot of people that went on in SNL when it was still good before it's so shitty now. I watched it when I was like, why? This is not funny.
Why do people say it's better now?
I don't know. I like the Weekend Update, and that's about it.
Yeah, I don't fall. I tried watching it once. I was like, yikes. Tough drop.
Yeah, I like Saturday Night Live back with Eddie Murphy and all that.
Now, that wasn't 90s, so we're going to.
That's 80s. Yeah, I know. I didn't really watch it too much in the 90s. So.
Really?
Yeah, I was kind of out. I was out of it by then.
I used to love Michael Myers, Dana Carvey.
There was a clip Chris Kattan would play this monkey man. And when Dwayne Johnson first hosted Saturday Night Live, him and Chris Kattan were like the monkey dudes. It was hilarious.
Pablo, you leave her alone. Oh, I thought Daisy was having a seizure.
Yeah, guys, if you have ideas, I will add them to my list. I kind of just go through. I try to keep it as variety as possible. There's so much from the 90s. We can go over like the fads, the trends, the toys. I mean, think the Beanie Baby and the Furby crazes from back then. I mean, there is so much we could talk about. Tickle Me Elmo too could be out of that toy craze, because toy craze was actually one of the topics I put.
Right. Daisy.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Hawaiian Punch-O. That wouldn't be fair. PlayStation 1 versus N64 wouldn't be fair. That's
why? Why?
64 was horrible, man. I hate that system.
I thought
when did the Cube come out? Was that after 64 or
Mario Kart?
Yeah, it was after
Mario Kart and GoldenEye.
What?
GoldenEye
is great. But like, if you wanted a good RPG, it depends what kind of games you like.
Nintendo 64 is one of the best wrestling games ever. You can even look it up.
Well, I know, but like, okay, I'll give you the N64 for the wrestling games. The WCW NWO World Tour, WCW NWO Revenge, the WWF No Mercy.
Mario
Those
Kart,
games are great.
There's Super Mario World, which was Mario whatever.
Well, Mario 64. I wasn't into the Mario 64 that much, but like GoldenEye, I'll give that to you. I'll give you the wrestling games, because there was no good wrestling games in 16-bit systems. Think about it. All those wrestling games were weak.
All right, so next week, Saturday Night Live from the 90s, I will do another trivia challenge. Do you want to make the rule that you can only guess once, and if you get it wrong, you're out? Or do you want to let people just keep guessing?
I'll let you decide that. If you want to let the guys keep guessing, I just thought that would make.
I think it is. I think it's fair because people, I mean, if they're legitimately guessing, they're going to put a bunch of different answers. Only allowing them one, they're going to actually Google it. It's more fun when people are like trying to toss out answers really quick, so you know who's trying without Googling. Gangster movies of the 90s. That could be a good one too. There's so many of those ones. Oh, there was another topic I have was the East Coast West Coast rivalry from the 90s.
Hell yeah.
So, because
I'm very, very educated on that.
well, we grew up in the 90s, but yeah, I was educated via having an older brother who got me into the.
Well, I listened to the music, so.
Yeah, so did I, and I wasn't supposed to.
I
remember listening to Two Live Crew with my brother. Well, my parents weren't home. He put on Two Live Crew. He's like, you got to hear this. Like, when did Two Live Crew come out? 88, 89? I think how old I was. 7? Listening to Two Live Crew when I was 7. So, yeah. Talk about an older sibling who loved to be a bad influence. I'll tell you a story. You know those crayon banks from back in the 90s? Those giant crayons? I had one. And I had it for years, and I shoved it in my closet for a long time because I never used it. And I brought it out one time. I was cleaning out my closet, and it was in the hallway. My brother and I made a bong out of it.
That's awesome.
We had a red crayon bank bong.
Oh man.
And my mom came home and she's like, "What is this?" We made a bong out of the crayon bank. She's like, "Oh my God, can you guys find something else to do more productive?"
This is funny right here. This is funny. I never thought that. I knew who he was talking about, but this is funny that he thought that. You remember that line in that movie where he goes study a tape of NWA? He says that in the Eminem song, and what's his name? He's talking about wrestling.
So you're talking about National Wrestling Alliance, not the rap group.
Mount Timer City loved the Beasties.
Yeah, Beastie Boys, man. Yeah, Beastie Boys were cool.
Yeah, I think we should definitely do music after we do Saturday Night Live, a music one, whether it be the East Coast West Coast battle. We could do rap, 90s rap, because that's when rap was actually good before it all went to shit.
Right.
It's so sad now.
Got all the grunge too from the 90s, all the grunge, Nirvana and all that. Yeah.
90s were great.
Yeah. I got stuck into all the grunge music, man.
Everything's worth money from the 90s.
All the girls like the grunge music. That's
What's grunge considered?
Like Nirvana and Pearl Jam, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Bush,
yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. I was not. I was and I wasn't, but I listened to everything. I still have an eclectic taste. I had from Garth Brooks to Nirvana to Tupac. I had the whole eclectic everything.
I never done country or even attempted.
I wasn't too into it, but it was something I grew up with. So there was some that I listened to, but like Johnny Cash and all that. I had the older country, but I have my CD case from high school still. It's in my living room with all my old CDs. And if I read through the crap that's in there, you'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Because it's a lot.
Yeah, like Hank Williams Jr. and Johnny Cash, stuff like that was great. I'm not a big country fan, but I like
you played a video game last night. I think you would like to play Fortnite.
I am. Oh, because we were playing Just Die already. Oh, speaking of which, plug. I'm sorry. Tomorrow night, Harry and I are doing a show on the Great Harry Barnett YouTube page. We're going to talk about The Walking Dead because he just started watching it, and we're going to do a quiz for him, and it's going to be horrible because he has named the characters different names from what they are. So when he's explaining where he's at, I have no fucking clue where he's at because I'm like, who's that? Shane, he constantly calls the Punisher because he will.
Oh, he calls Shane the Punisher. That one,
yeah, but everyone because they've all shut up somewhere. And
I've
then
always called Shane.
And we're also going to talk about the game you saw last night. Just Die already.
In the 90s, I used to love. I know there's a lot of shit behind this actor now, Kevin Spacey, but I loved Negotiator with him and Samuel Jackson. If you haven't seen that movie, watch that movie. Negotiator. Samuel Jackson was a fucking bomb in that movie. You got to check. If you've never seen
I don't think
Negotiator,
I've ever seen Negotiator.
watch it. You got to check that out, Eve. That movie's good. That movie was good. And that was
Did you ever
like
see?
yeah, go on.
I was gonna say you ever see The Last Boy Scout, but that was like not even
course.
close to what you're talking
My
about.
favorite line in the Last
Yeah.
Boy Scout. Listen, I used to say a couple lines from that movie. The first one was, "Your mom is so fat, you got to roll her in flour to find the wet spot." That was what Bruce Willis said when he was trying to make those guys laugh, and then he
Yeah.
shoots him with the puppet or whatever. And what was the other part I loved in that movie?
You say like
David
say
Wayne
like-
said something to somebody, and it was funny. It was like David Wayne's being funny, but I'm trying to think.
it was
I
like
love Last Boy Scout. That
one of the
was
sayings I believe he was saying in there, like just like something's exactly the way it is. He'd be like, "Yeah, water's wet, grass is green, sky's blue." That's a great movie. That's a good movie.
yeah. I love Last Boy Scout.
Well, in the '90s, also most of the Lethal Weapon movies and stuff. And
Oh, yeah.
Pesci was in the Lethal Weapons.
Lethal Weapons and Independence Day and Pulp Fiction, all that. That was great stuff.
Pulp Fiction was great. Loved
And
Pulp
when Kevin
Fiction.
Smith started
Didn't
coming out with his
understand. Had
stuff
to watch
like
Pulp
Clerks
Fiction
and
100
Mallrats
times
and all
before I ever
them,
got it.
see a
Great
different side of
stuff.
comedy. Yeah, I had a lot of good movies.
Like I saw Pulp Fiction when I was like 7, 8, or whatever it was, 9, or whatever it came out on VHS, and I didn't get it. I had to watch it again later on. I remember I was kind of like, "What?"
We used to bootleg all those movies, man. With the you go rent it, and if you had one of the old VCRs, the real big ones that the tape part was on the top of the VCR, not one that goes in the front. Those you could get past that anti-copy guard that was on some of those pre-recorded tapes. So we hooked one VCR up to the other and used to bootleg the tapes. So we had all the movies
Not a bad
bootleg.
idea.
Yeah, back in the
'Cause
day.
back then you could have made some money from that shit.
We just somebody wanted tape. They wanted to give us a
but I'm
couple
just saying.
bucks or,
back then, it was something.
bring pizza over or something, give them a couple movies.
I never considered Die Hard a Christmas movie. I just said it was a
No,
movie
no.
shot in Christmas. In the background, there was never a Christmas movie.
Christmas happened. Christmas
Okay.
was happening.
Depending
Christmas
what
happened to
family
be in
you
the
grew up in,
background
Die Hard is a
during the
Christmas
movie.
movie because it's one of the ones I'm forced to watch every year.
Night
Oh,
Karma
let me-
says best
let me-
Christmas
let
movie
me
ever
pull
was
that.
Porky's.
I'm gonna pull that. We're gonna put that on the poll real quick. Dude.
What is if Die Hard's a Christmas movie or not?
Yeah.
I think it depends on the household you grew up in.
Christmas was just in the background of the movie. It's not
That was my argument every year. I'm like, why do we
Yeah.
watch this every year? There's like a list of them. Like we have to watch Elf, Die Hard,
Who?
Christmas Vacation.
Elf is one of them.
Yes,
We
Christmas
gotta watch
Vacation.
Elf, and we gotta watch
My
Die
mom's
Hard.
pick every year is always the Polar Express. Like everyone has their movies, and then we have the regular ones we have to watch. Mine's Prancer, and everyone gets mad at me because I won't ever change my pick. But if I'm forced
both
to
of you
watch
answer the poll if you can. It doesn't allow me, but both of you if you can.
my household, yes, so I'll put yes.
Oh, so you consider it a Christmas movie?
Only because I'm forced to watch it at Christmas. So in my household, it's considered a Christmas
I
movie.
got
Now,
a great question for
if
you.
I didn't have
Salty.
to watch it, no.
If you could go
'cause it's
back
Die
in
Hard.
time and have certain games in package, would it be from the Super Nintendo console or would it be from Sega? Knowing the information you know now, games are worth a lot sealed. If you could have one console that you would have bought 2 copies of and kept them sealed, would it have been Sega or would it have been Nintendo?
For financial reasons, Super Nintendo.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking you.
Yeah, Super Nintendo. Most of the Super games that would be sealed would be worth more than most of the Genesis games.
If I didn't throw a party at my parents' house, I had tons of shit. Toys, Hot Wheels in package. I used to keep most of my toys in package. I would sometimes buy 2 so I could play with one and watch the other. And then I threw a party. I caused so much damage to my parents' house. It was like a weird science party, a 3-dayer. And yeah, it was. I became a legend at that party. But I think my dad kept all my football cards and all the shit and just used that to pay. I'm not saying he did sell them, but I'm guessing that was my punishment. I know he opened my Hot Wheels, and when I say open Hot Wheels, we're talking Hot Wheels that are probably like $100 in package. Some of them are worth thousands today.
Yeah.
Yeah, they used to be a big time collection. Like you go to the IX Indoor Amusement Park, which is up here where me and Eve live, and they have big fucking collections. You ever been up there, Eve?
I think so. Years ago.
Oh wow, it's like that. You don't really know what it is. I thought that was something they just broadcasted all over Ohio as like the big thing.
Mm, no, and no.
No and no.
Yeah, the only thing they've ever broadcast that was even up there. Yeah, they don't do that for some reason. If they do, I don't see it.
Yeah, we already told. I told her it was a great shirt. I actually like this shirt a lot.
Yeah, I pointed out, Harry, that you have ice cream on your Great Club shirts and spoons instead of bones and bullets.
Ice cream. You know who would like that? My brother gave me his broken Sega CD in '05. It had a bad fuse, and I got Sonic CD and a few 30. Yeah, Sega started adding on all those things. They had the CD
Yeah.
on top, and
That was how you could put. That was the first way you could play Doom on console, though. Was that 32X? Because I didn't have a computer back then, but I had the Genesis. I bought 32X to play Doom and Virtua Racing
we had
Deluxe.
computers, but I really couldn't use it without my parents being behind my back or
Right. Yeah, by the time
I got all this stuff later in life, but again, parents, money thing. Yeah.
Pesci loves a Longa Burger baskets. What's this?
Loves
mean?
longer burger baskets.
What's Longa Burger basket?
what's a longer burger basket? I have no idea.
So down here we have a longer burger basket. Well, what we did, it's a corporation that makes baskets. I don't get the hype, but they're like old people collection stuff. And there's a building off the freeway that is a basket that used to be their corporate headquarters before they shut down. Because come on, you make baskets, eventually people are gonna get tired of them. And now they're collector's items because they're longer burger baskets, and it's like it's like the old people version of Beanie Babies. It's so dumb. Why do you care about baskets? It's so stupid.
I think I heard of that now that you said it's a giant basket, but I didn't know that was here.
Yeah, it's down here. It's stupid.
Yeah, Doom was on the SNES without the need of a 32X, but it was a couple years later on, I believe. Doom was kind of a later release for the SNES.
What's crazy about Sega is it feels like PlayStation got there real quick. It's like 1 minute you're playing Sega, Mortal Kombat 2 came out, which I forgot was one of the best games for Sega and Super Nintendo. Well, that came that was Super Nintendo.
But Genesis had the blood code for the first Mortal Kombat. Super Nintendo, you didn't have blood, you had sweat.
Yeah.
So like people got Super Nintendo version looked better, but the Genesis version had blood, and if you're playing Mortal Kombat, you gotta have blood.
You had to then.
I mean, there ain't no blood or fatalities.
That was a big deal. I remember. See, there's some Christmases I remember. I remember the Mortal Kombat Christmas.
Yeah.
I remember going upstairs, seeing my older cousins playing it, and I'm like, I want to get in.
See, back when it comes to them video games, we bought our shit. My parents didn't have to buy it. We bought it. Man, besides going to school, I had paper route. I was working fast food places. I'd trade people. Like I'd leave the house with 4 games. I'd come back with like 7 or 8 games and like $10 or $15 in my pocket.
Yeah, but you are a tidbit older than us.
Yeah, that's true.
So you gotta think when this stuff came out, I was 9, 10, 11. Yeah. And I didn't live in a city. I lived out in the middle of Bumfuck, Egypt. And I worked as a kid on my parents' farm. So we had to rely on them for anything because we didn't make any money.
Yeah.
It was like you eat and have a bed, right? You're good.
There you go. You got bed and food and you're good.
Tonight was 90s Evening with Eve, episode
I'll be right back.
Sega versus Super Nintendo. Go ahead.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, I loved it. No, see, look, if we killed an hour, that's just it. If we could kill an hour on those, yeah, we could go over as long as you want. Whenever you want to end, we can end. I was trying to think of something else I could bring up during it.
Well, did you want to end this to have your hour 90s thing like you did last time and just come back on?
Say that again?
You would do it the last time and end it so you have your hour and so show and then come back on? Or do you want to keep going?
No, we can just keep going because I might not stay on super long tonight. I'm actually gonna go fucking
My
to
wife yelled.
Walmart tonight.
My wife yelled for me because she's watching the Nintendo Direct, and they just said they're going to have Nintendo 64 and Sega Genesis games now on the online for the Switch.
Oh, you got to show me how to do that. Oh, on the Switch.
On the Switch, yeah, you know how they have NES and Super now? They're going to have Nintendo 64 and Genesis now.
Fuck
Speaking of our topic.
Yeah, that's what she was yelling at me about. She's like, like what?
Dude, that's awesome. I'm gonna be on that.
And yes, Hawaiian Punch a Hole, Doom on SNES was ass. It really was.
The first GameStop.
Man, we had a store called Mega Games.
That's what it was called.
Mega Games.
Yep. First game store, because I know it was a GameStop for me. For me, it was either
anybody around my age that was from around Mishawaka, South Bend, Elkhart, Indiana area. Mega Games.
Hello, Rome.
Mega Games had everything. We had the Japanese imports. We had American releases. We had all the stuff, man. We had Neo Geo, 3DO. We had everything. I didn't own it or anything. I worked there. I would work in there part-time, but it was great.
The only game store we had in the town we lived in at the time, because I grew up, there's a town out here called Grove City, and it's blown up now. It's huge. All the rich people bought in and bought mansions. But when I grew up there, it was called Grove Tucky because it was nothing but a farmer's town. So when you went in town, you didn't have like a lot of specified stores. So you had like combination stores. But there was one little store that sold like, you can get like your baseball cards there, and they had some games and some collector stuff. So, but it was never like a large amount of things. And you couldn't get like used things. It was all like new, but like they had to get like one thing in a month.
Tim Lee, I forget what Neo Geo was. First Neo Geo. Oh, I think the handhold, right?
No, Neo Geo was originally an arcade machine, but they brought the same parts that were in the arcade machine home, and you'd hook up to your TV. It was the Neo Geo, like games like Metal Slug, Samurai Showdown, Fatal Fury.
Metal Slug I've been buying on Xbox. You could get some of the Neo Geo. I just thought, I'll play.
All that stuff was originally on the Neo Geo. The cartridges were huge. They were like bigger than VHS tapes. And that was the first system that had a memory card too, before the PlayStation. And the memory card, like
in the building.
The memory card, like what you played at home, if you wanted to go to the arcade or vice versa, you just keep your memory card with you. The arcades actually had a memory card slot, and you could save your data from arcade to your home console.
What does this mean? Neo Geo was SNK.
SNK was the company. They originally they're an arcade company, but they also made games for the NES and stuff too.
Early 90s for Neo Geo, I think, says Hazelwood.
But they were like, back then, they were like $500 brand new, the console was. And it came with Baseball Stars 2, I believe.
So if we do another video game one, it is required that Salty Bacon be part of this. Because I'm learning so much here. Like, what's this? What's that?
If we do the video game ones, you're in.
Yeah, I had a Neo Geo, but I actually traded because I do all this swapping. So I had like 2 or 3 Super Nintendos, 2 or 3 Genesis. So I took one of my Genesis, one of my Super Nintendo, and a bunch of games, traded it in to that place I was talking about, Mega Games. They had a Neo Geo.
Remember this one?
Yeah, Atari Warriors. That was an arcade game, and then it later came out for the NES, the Nintendo Entertainment System. Yeah, it's the same company, SNK.
Who's Football Gravedigger? Shout out to Football Gravedigger.
Okay.
I don't know.
Funkoland. Bob Hazelwood said, remember Funkoland? Yeah, Funkoland was awesome too, especially you could.
Funko. God damn it, Funkoland.
Funkoland, man, I used to go score all kinds of real cheap NES and Super and Genesis and Game Boy games and stuff.
Hey, Bob, you want to know something? There's these guys I watch, the Game Chasers, and they shop in Texas. I guess there's a lot of flea markets, and there was a lot of places in Texas years back where you could go get the old Super Nintendo games. And I guess in Texas, there's a lot of flea markets down there towards Mexico and shit.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of flea markets here, Pesci. You just have to leave your city.
No, Eve, I do leave my city.
Just giving you shit, Pesci.
I know.
But it's more like my end of Ohio. Your end of Ohio, I don't know, but our because we have like a lot of the Amish country down here, and the flea markets are like huge. You're talking about football stadium size flea markets. That's where a lot of stuff I find.
Lots of fleas here. Yeah, I've heard Texas is bolted.
Well, Texas is also huge, so I'm assuming you would have them. My favorite thing is to go like estate sales when older people either selling the house and people just clean out the attic and they've kept all their kids' toys and stuff, and that's when you find like all the old shit from back in the day.
Hey, Salty, what's disc replay?
It's a media store. They sell lots of video games, DVDs, CDs, stuff like that. I think they even have Funko Pops and stuff like that as well.
Look at this. This is true story. Some of these games, Eve, these old Super Nintendo, some of them are over $100 and shit to get. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I know. Oh, I'm fully aware.
Super Mario, I think some Mario 64, one of them in the back package sealed, went for like a couple thousand or something.
I can't remember the exact price, but I know it was way more. I mean, it was like,
okay,
like 5 digits.
That'd be wrong. I thought it was what you're thinking, like
yeah,
thousands.
it was way more. It was like, I don't remember the exact number. Like it was over like 10,000 or 20,000 or something like that. Crazy. Because it was sealed. It was still factory sealed. Somebody's crazy enough to pay that much for it.
Well, I know I've priced the two I have for regular Nintendo. Bye, Bob. I've priced the two I have off and on. I think it just depends. I think the Mario, because I have the booklet and everything, is like $50.
Right.
But the Wheel of Fortune is more because I have all the booklet stuff, but it was also more rare. It was like 70, 75.
Wow.
So I was like, okay, that's different. I didn't expect that to be more, but because it wasn't as popular, you don't have as many copies out there.
Yeah, because everybody had Mario 3 back then,
Shout out to the fans that participated tonight. You guys really did help it go nice and quick. And the trivia, everyone that played that.
Ooh, so can we do another poll? Because I do have a question. And
I forgot. Let's look at
the poll was 50-50.
Right down the middle.
12 votes. What's the poll you want now? I'll end that one. Go on, Eve.
All right.
Yeah, here's one I was trying to tell fucking Salty Bacon about.
It's a great game. I love it. I have GoldenEye. I have it. I love the game. It's just
Salty, we're gonna have to get together and play a couple games here and there.
Yeah.
You should see the one that me and Harry play. We just downloaded this little independent game on PS4 called Just Die Already. By these old people, it's hilarious.
It looked a little interesting. It did. I was watching.
It's open world, which is what I like, and it's just goofy. It's just something to fuck around with. It was like $15. So poll question: the trivia. Should we continue with the trivia? Yes or no? Because if people didn't like it or didn't want to do it, I don't want to do it again. But if you did, I will make up another one for SNL next week. Which will be even more fun because SNL is so much to that.
Maybe I'll play it now. Here you go. Here's your trivia question. I would have just did
and
it.
I won't vote on this one.
I would have just did the trivia. I thought it was a good touch.
Well,
certain weeks Schmidt will be in there. He likes trivia.
I don't know about that Hawaiian.
I might try to find the fucking real quick. Let me see if I can find one of those things we did last week.
Hawaiian Punch Hole says 007 doesn't hold up. I kind of disagree. I've played 007 on my 64 within maybe 5-6 months ago. I thought it was still a pretty good game. Graphics look crap, but still a great game. Still fun.
We're not doing a full one, Jake. Maybe that, like I said, I might not be on for too much longer. We're just ending this with the video games. I'll have you on later for the Pesci Power Hour if I go back on. TV said, I like SNL, clip of Richard Pryor, Chevy Chase, LOL. All right, excellent. So we're going to keep doing the trivia. All right, yeah, the trivia I like anyway. 12 votes all in. We'll end that poll. That was a win. Trivia's in.
Just want to make sure.
It's good. And Hawaiian Punch 01, Hawaii, like I said, I'll keep it running. You guys just got to let me know when you want it sent. Everybody that's won money got it. And everybody that went sent other places, I sent it. And there was no comments of the night tonight. Surprise, but the trivia took that over. Usually the comments at night come in when I do the PWO when the lunatics are there.
Yeah, I think everybody was into the video games and stuff. Nobody was really making wise comments,
No,
Yeah,
it
usually the
good
comments of the
for-
night works when you have like the chat kind of stream where everyone's just kind of effing around.
Yeah.
When there's a topic, people are all in on the topic and they're like not busy being snarky.
Exactly why that was very close to a comment in the night.
There you go. Now we're getting
Hey!
we need more smart ass comments.
The funniest thing was what Jake said to me today, though. He goes, "It gets kind of annoying when Schmidt just does my voice 100 times. It's like, give it a rest."
I heard him say that.
Again, I'm gonna go back to pot calling kettle black.
Right. It was like when I played this on his channel and he went nuts.
Oh my god! Stop, Pesci!
Pesci, no! Meanwhile, he's allowed to come on my channel, like I said, talk about shitting, people dying, start fights, homosexualities, gay flamingos, which Eve said that's not a true statement.
Flamingos aren't gay. They're just flamingos. They're birds.
Flamingos, I think of like Miami Vice or something. You know,
if
like
I would associate any animal
went
to
the first
homosexuality,
flamingo in Vegas.
yeah, not homosexuality at all.
if I would associate any animal to, I'll say gay dudes because that's what he was implying. That flamingos indicate. I would do like a poodle or something, like not a flamingo.
I always say this: Hawaiian Punch-O, I am glad that you found this. See, Hawaiian Punch-O, on top of being funny, does play a lot of the cool games we play, watches the movies, knows the lingo. But look, Cyberpunk taught me that. As good as graphics could be, the game could just go. Did you try to? Is Cyberpunk worth playing right now? Like, can I go? I wanted to play it, but I thought they were still fixing. I'm like, might sneak in, get it for the cheap. What do you think, Hawaiian?
I haven't played it yet, but I bought it when they had it marked down for $10 a while back. The physical version of Cyberpunk for PS4. I know there's a lot of patches for it, but I don't know. I haven't tried it yet.
What's Harvest Moon again?
It's a role-playing game that has farming in it. Farming and romance.
Farming and romance?
Yeah, you got to meet your wife and that kind of stuff, but you also are on a farm.
It's a video game.
It's a video game. I think the first version of it was, if I remember right, was on Super Nintendo and Game Boy. And then it's on current systems now. You can get it for Switch and PS4 and stuff.
I don't think he needs a romance. That might be a little too much for him. What else my letter at? With sheep, says Donald Ward.
With sheep.
All right, guys. I'm gonna put the link to the show me and Harry are doing tomorrow in the chat, and that way you guys can set a reminder if you all want to see it.
What time?
It is going to be tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, Hawaiian, I have not played Stardew Valley yet. I've heard about it. I heard it is similar to Harvest Moon, but I've never played it yet.
And then I will do the same thing on his show as to like our show next week, Pesci. I just go back and forth. I'm the forever interchangeable co-host of different shows.
Well, Eve, you know me and you have always been good, so whatever you do.
The co-hostess with the mostess.
I told you before, there's not really much you can do that would get me upset.
I don't bother anybody. That's the thing.
Well, that's what I said. You don't bother me at all. What the fuck was I talking about? Oh, what's this one?
It's a game that's similar to Harvest Moon. It has to do with farming and stuff too. I've never played it, but it's on the current systems and PC and every Steam and
I'm
everything.
surprised. Mount Dever knew a lot of games tonight. Eve.
Oh, shout out to Frank Kirsch. He's sending me my laptop, and I have Sims 4 loaded on it, so I get to play it finally.
Frank would definitely be here, but I think he's probably rusting or driving.
No, he's resting probably. He just got back, so.
Yes, she is. Sheriff Whitehead said Eve is great.
Oh, thank you, Sheriff. Sheriff is awesome.
I always thought having Eve on the show was a good taste of flavor or whatever the word is.
It breaks up the sausage festival. That's what happens.
Yeah, it gives people something to look at. I have an Xbox Series X, but still play SNES.
Hell yeah. I play everything, man. That's
No,
Well, Harry, making
gotta
anyone
teach
watch
me,
fan fails would
Salty.
upset him.
I want to get those things that the big time streamers have where they're just typing in any game.
what they got. What are you talking about? Like,
Where they're on the computer. And I want one night when this guy goes on, I'm gonna tag you and I'm gonna go, hey, go on YouTube and check this guy out. He'll
Okay.
just type in any game. He'll type in L and he'll go through all the L games. Like
if he doesn't have he probably either has an emulator on his PC or he has one of those Raspberry Pis.
Yeah, basically it's Nintendo.
Yeah, you get like a Raspberry Pi. You get a Raspberry Pi, you probably spend about $100 on it, and you can have like 10,000 games, 20,000 games on it, and it's got like all the systems, all the arcade games, everything all in one little box.
Well,
It's
damn.
probably a Raspberry Pi.
Yeah. No, and so we got so Eve, what time is your show tomorrow?
7 p.m. on the Great Harry Barnett YouTube channel. The Walking Dead, and Ross talking about the game you're talking about. Just die already. If you're curious about it, you can go to his channel now. We played it last night for a little while, just messing around. We really didn't play. We just messed around.
Glad, Yvonne, I hate when they would watch the mic lickers. You would hate when we would watch that. Eve would like it.
No, I didn't. And I was on the show when you watched it. I was like, why am I watching this?
She just be going to town on that ear or mic or whatever that thing is.
I
I don't know.
I thought you told me you were in the chicks.
I'm in the chicks, but I don't want the chicks that lick microphones.
That just means she's got a lot of money. I didn't mean it like that. He didn't chicks. I could have sworn he said he didn't mind chicks. Or something like that. Maybe I'm in the wrong. I like chicks that like chicks, but that's just me. Stardew Valley is made by Duel, whatever that means.
Like one dude.
My number one fan says 7 p.m. at Del Brit. I don't even know this guy. I think this might be the stalker. Get rid of him. Eve on my side. Harry says why that. All right, this is what Pesci's got to do. I am going to buy something at Walmart, a very special Pesci gift. I'll probably be coming back on though because it's only 9:30, probably around 10:30.
Yeah.
I appreciate my guests, Salty, Bacon, or Ninja, whatever one you prefer. I like Bacon. Oh,
I'm gonna call him Bacon Ninja.
Bacon
I appreciate
Ninja.
you, Bacon Ninja. You're
Bacon
awesome.
Ninja.
Ninja. Yeah, and if your name's Ninja, that helps Schmidt out. And then everybody say goodbye to Eve, the glorious one who looks beautiful in her shirt and her background, and she did very good on the trivia. And I'll see you guys in an hour. I'm going on a quick run, and then I'll be back. So we will see you later. Damn good show. Thank you, Sheriff. And this was fun. Next week, episode 3. Who knows? We might have a new guest on. Who knows who's going to be here? But I can tell you one thing. Me and Eve will be there. And Salty will probably be watching, but he'll be on the next video game show. So Salty, you did a great job tonight because I learned a lot from you.
Yep,
But,
next week, Saturday Night Live from the 90s.
Why did you can't see her tomorrow? But he said, bye, Eve. You can't see her tomorrow. Until we meet again, don't pick your nose. And Jake, stay out of the rain. We'll see you next time.